All rise. The Kosovo Specialist Chambers is now in session.
Please be seated. Good morning and welcome. Court officer, can you please call the case?
Good morning, Your Honors. This is case KSC BC 2020-04, the Specialist Prosecutor versus Peter Shala.
Thank you very much. I see that on my right-hand side we are in the same composition. I mean the Specialist Prosecutor's Office, yes, Victims' Counsel also, thank you. And I see at the side of the defense change, I give you the floor, Mr. Jellison, to indicate who is present.
Thank you very much, my honor. My honors are Mr. Jellison. We are here with Mr. Shala in the Defense Center, Miss Melissa McKay, Miss Petrovica, Zaneta Petrovica, Miss Juliette Healy, and Miss Judith Kolb. Thank you very much.
Very well. Thank you. Mr. Shala, good morning. Can you confirm that you hear me well?
Good morning. Yes, I can hear you well. Thank you.
It's good to see you present via video link today. And the panel considers it of the utmost importance that you are present at the court hearings, be it via video link or in person in the courtroom. And it might be that the latter would allow you to interact with your defense team in a way that might sometimes suit your needs better. However, I leave it to you to decide that in consultation with your counsels. But let me finish that it's good to have you here. Yes, you have the floor. Please.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just need for a private session, if it's possible. Oh, to go into private session. Sorry, not public session.
Will explain to us why you want to go into private session as soon as we are in private session. Yes, I see you nodding. Madam Court Officer, can you bring us into private session, please?
Your Honors, we are now in public session.
Thank you. Today we continue with the cross-examination by the SPO of the defense witness, Ms. Tim Kadriye. Court clerk, could you please usher the witness in, please? Welcome back, Madam Witness. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can now.
Mr. Shala, can you hear the witness?
Yes, I can hear her very well, thank you.
How are you today?
Okay.
Madam Witness, I remind you that you're still under oath to tell the truth. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Mr. Prosecutor, did I understand well yesterday that you had still 5 more minutes to go for your cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor, approximately 5 to 10 minutes, that would be my estimate.
Okay, very well. You have the floor.
Good morning, Ms. Kadriye.
Good morning.
Ms. Kadriye, yesterday I asked you, and I'm referring to page 3607 of the transcript, Your Honors, if you believe that people who had been victims of crimes by certain members of the KLA had a right to seek justice, irrespective of their background. And you answered that everyone has the right to seek justice for themselves. That's your position, correct?
Not just them, but everybody who thinks that their rights have been infringed or violated in a democratic world, they have the right to seek justice. That is an individual decision.
Do you approve of the decision of an individual who tries to seek justice in a court of law if this individual believes he or she has been victim of a crime?
That is an individual right, an individual's right to seek justice.
Do you agree with the exercise of that right by an individual? Do you support that decision of an individual to seek justice if he or she decides to do so?
No,
As I said, it's their right to seek justice, and nobody has the right to deny them that right.
Well, because I found a media article reporting some statements of yours dated the 3rd of April 2023, which is the date when the trial against Hashim Tachi, Recep Selimi, Kadri Veseli, and Jakub Kresnici started in this very courtroom here. I'd like to discuss this article, and in light of the answers you gave us yesterday and you confirmed now about the right to seek justice. I'd like to discuss the content of this article with you. Your Honors, could I please have, we also have an Albanian version of this article, so perhaps we could put them side by side. The Albanian is 116.107-116.107. It's the same ERN for the English version, but with -ET in the end.
Madam Court Officer, please proceed.
So, Ms. Kadri, this is an article written by Luzim Gaita. Please.
I've forgotten my glasses.
Okay, I understand that. Madam Court Usher will either go and get them for you or will accompany you in order for you to accompany her, because maybe you know better where they are. Yes, please you can go with Madame Court Usher to get your glasses. And we wait for you here.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Madam Witness. Mr. Prosecutor, you have the floor again.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Kadri, I'd like to draw your attention to the fourth paragraph, the longer one, the one at the bottom of the page. Now, first of all, do you recall giving this interview on the 3rd of April 2023? Do you confirm having given this interview to Mr. Luzim Gaitani of the Ducagini publication?
I have given a lot of interviews because I'm a public figure, I'm an MP, and I'm non-stop exposed to various media. So I'm reading it here, and so I'm just reading it now.
Take your time. Do you want to read it first, and so that you can confirm to us that these are in fact your statements? These your statements, Ms. Guerrier?
Paul.
Yes.
In the third paragraph, in the fourth paragraph, the last one, the longer one, there are a number of statements of yours reported. I'd like to start with the first one, where you are quoted as having stated that it is an injustice to put on trial those who waged a just and a liberation war. That's the English translation. Now, I'd like you to help me understand what you mean there. Do you believe that having fought a just war exempts people from being held accountable of crimes that they may have committed in the course of the war they fought?
You have misunderstood. Because without a final verdict, I cannot really judge anyone. It is my personal opinion, and I still believe it because there were other KLA members who were tried by this court and were also declared innocent. So until there is a decision by the court, you cannot call them guilty. For me, they are liberators, they continue to be liberators, and this is my perception.
Is a sacred principle that applies before this court and in general before every criminal court. But what you wrote, what you're quoted as having stated here is that it is an injustice to put on trial those who waged a just and liberation war. Now, I trust you're a member of parliament, I trust you know the function of a trial. The function of a trial is to establish whether somebody is in fact criminally responsible for a crime. So, do you consider that it is unjust to ascertain, to set in motion the mechanisms necessary to find out if somebody has committed a crime when it comes to former members of the KLA? Is that your view?
We did not have data or charges that were then made by the former KLA leaders. I have said that there are perhaps fabricated facts. I do not know who these witnesses are and what type of justice is actually calling them to account. So this is the court, and that is the reason why I, as an MP of the Assembly of Kosovo, did not vote in favor of the law for specialized chamber.
If there are people coming forward, victims, stating that have been victim of a crime.
Mr. Prosecutor, I will give the floor to the defense counsel.
Thank you very much, Johanna. I don't think my love friend has to slice the idea of the witness. The idea is very clear and it's an all. We have some phrases because the idea is complex. And to take some words, as all of us know that, if you take some words in an idea, you are able to hang everybody, even in this courtroom. So the best, of course, is to ask the witness to talk about all the idea expressed in this paragraph and not to take only some words, solve some words, destroying the whole idea, I think so. That's my feeling. Thank you very much.
2 comments on that. I think that Mr. Prosecutor can proceed with this line of questioning and in this courtroom, nobody, although I see that it is an expression you try to use, but nobody is hanged. We just try to elicit information to the best of our possibilities. You may proceed.
Let's try to focus. It's actually a simple answer. You may say that you've been misquoted, that you didn't mean that, or you meant that. But do you consider an injustice if there's people coming forward saying we've been victims of crimes, there is an investigation, and some people are identified as possible perpetrators of these crimes? In this case, that might be Mr. Shala or the other accused there. Do you think it's an injustice to set in motion the process by which their responsibility can be ascertained, whether the claims of the victims can be ascertained? Do you think that that's an injustice? Is that what you meant by your statement? And my question is very precise, so please, you wrote that it's an injustice to put people on trial, not to convict them without evidence, there's no conviction yet, that to put them on trial. Is that your position?
It is the court that will decide as to their innocence or whether they're guilty. And if you look at the final paragraph, I have said that Kosovo has supported the court, and my view was that I believe in the innocence of the KLA soldiers because they have always responded to the summons that they have sent to them. No single KLA soldier who has been summoned to this court has failed to appear.
Please answer the question, because you know, as we know, that you're not answering the question. And maybe you find it a difficult question,
So
but you're not now answering the question.
Yes or no? Do you consider it an injustice to initiate a trial to ascertain whether the claims of the victims are in fact truthful and whether these people respond? Is that unjust in your view? Yes or no? Just do you stand by the statement or no?
No, please. I would like to comment on this. I think it is an injustice, and I have mentioned this in the final paragraph, because we have seen that there are facts, or rather fabricated facts, that have been paid for by the Serbian regime for these charges, slanderous charges against the KLA leaders.
Are you aware that there have been a number of trials, and I'm not going to mention them all, just a few, where courts have found that former members of the KLA were responsible of grave, serious crimes against Kosovar Albanians? And I'm talking about the trial against Sabit Geci, Riza Alia, and others, Jemshid Krasniqi, Latif Gashi, or Haradim Balaj at ICTY in the trial that involved also Mr. Limay and Isaac Muslio, who were acquitted. Are you aware that these people were found guilty? That the claims of the victims in these trials were found to be true? Are you aware of that?
I have followed the news, but not in detail because of my personal involvement at work. I couldn't follow, say, the court sessions or those court sessions. But when a decision has been, a verdict has been given by the court, I think that everybody has supported it. If those people have committed crimes, then those sentences have been given to them, so they have responded to the justice system.
Do you consider basically the fact that, there have been trials in which the claims of the Kosovo Albanian victims have been found to be legitimate, and people, former KLA members, some KLA members, have been found to be guilty? Do you think it's unjust to proceed with a trial in this courtroom to ascertain whether the claims of the victims in this case or another case are in fact also legitimate claims? Is that unjust?
If you're alluding to this article in front of me, I haven't talked about those cases when justice has been rendered. It's about the case of the arrest of the leaders of the KLA, who to this day are being tried, and there is still not a final court decision on them.
The fact that they're being tried to be an injustice? Yes or no?
I have stated that if this is based on fabricated facts by the Serbian regime, I consider that injustice.
There were no fabrications. People were convicted on the basis of testimonies that were found to be credible. You don't know the evidence in this trial. You said you were busy with your job. You don't know if they're fabricated. So, is it an injustice to put people on trial? Not to convict them based on fabrications. That may be an injustice. But to put them on trial, to see, to verify the claims of the people who say we have been victims. Is that an injustice?
For as long as the opposite is not confirmed, I stand by my position.
No further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Prosecutor. Madam Witness, we will now proceed with the questioning by Victims' Counsel, if he has any questions. Victims'
We have
Counsel.
no questions, thank you.
Thank you. So Victims' Counsel has indicated that he has no questions, and I will now proceed to go to the defense team again to see if they want to have a second round of questions for you. Mr. Gillessen.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. We don't need it. Thank you very much.
Good. Very well. I will confer with my colleagues, and I will get to you. Madam Witness, there are no questions from the side of the panel, so that means that we end with your testimony here. Yeah. I would like to thank you for your testimony yesterday and today, and the efforts you have put in this testimony. So thank you. I wish you a safe travel home, and I recall that you should not discuss your testimony with anybody, and Madame Court Usher will now accompany you out of the courtroom. Madam Court Officer, could you bring us into a private session, please?
Your Honors, we are now in private session.
Thank you. I notice for the record that Mr. Bowden has been present with us in the courtroom, and that we note that for the record. So that's one thing. You are now excused, Mr. Bowden, and I remind you that the panel has directed you to file on record your submissions made via email yesterday, and please do so by Monday, 27th at 12 p.m. Have a good day, Counsel.
Thank you. Thank you, Ernest.
I have still an oral order to give with regard to witness 4280. It's one of the upcoming witnesses for next week. Yes. We informed the panel at 2:30 on the 16th of November that that was via email, that Mr. Witness 4280 was going to testify in the week of the 27th till the 1st of December. via video link, yes, and we have recorded this as correspondence under number 137, and we still owe you the reasons why we have decided to proceed in this way. We refer to our decision 482 red, paragraph 12 to 14, which is the applicable legal framework. We have taken note of the registry's assessment and its recommendations. Not be prejudicial to or inconsistent with the rights of the accused. So we decide to hear this witness via video conference from the same venue as previously chosen, which we already found to be conducive to giving a truthful and open testimony. We order the registry to make the necessary arrangements for witness 4280 to testify via video conference. And this concludes our oral ruling. And we can go back into public session, please.
Your Honors, we are now in public session.
Thank you, Madam Court Officer. Next week, we will give an overview of pending oral orders we might be giving and also procedural steps. But we will try to be complete in that aspect. Furthermore, I will do the usual round to see if there's anything the parties and Victims' Counsel want to raise with the panel.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Victims' Counsel, Defense Counsel.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good. Then we will adjourn till next Monday at 9:30. We will then proceed with the testimony of the witness, defense witness 403. Yes, and then before I adjourn, I want to thank our interpreters and Mr. Stenographer, the security and the audiovisual booth, and also to thank the parties, Victims' Counsel, and the registry for their attendance. The hearing is adjourned.
All rise.